So today's video, I'm going to be sharing my favourite parenting book. So only one. I'm not going to bombard you with many books and tell you, the ins and outs of it all. So it's going to be a very short, very quick, hopefully informative video. But this is my favourite book, my favourite parenting book, and I'm going to share with you what it's all about, why I love it, and why you should buy it and read it. Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then welcome. I'm Kayla, mum to one, and currently an early years childminder. My channel shares lots of inspiration in regards to playroom setups, toy ideas, information about developmental stages, motherhood, toddlerhood, Montessori, all that kind of stuff. And I'm really into nature, nature play. So I do a lot of forest school type videos too. So if that's of interest to you, then please do subscribe. So it's called How to Talk So Little Kids Will Listen. So I actually bought this not that long ago when I was going through a really difficult stage with my child. So she turned 3, and some of the things that we were doing before to manage her behaviours or her emotions, and my emotions, they just weren't working. So I thought, I need a bit of help. I need to start reading again. And I hadn't read a parenting book in a really long time. I read lots of books when she was younger, when we were starting out in parenting. And yeah, I hadn't read anything in a while in regards to kind of challenging stages and how to handle those stages. So I thought I need to look for something to kind of help me because I was struggling. So you might have heard of a book which is titled really similarly, called How to Talk So Kids Will Listen and Listen So Kids Will Talk, which is actually written by one of the author's parents, and it's quite an old book. So I found that really interesting. That kind of got me interested in reading this one. So I read the little bio at the beginning, and it explains how she came to write the book and what it was like for her growing up, having 2 parents that had written a parenting book, and then also her own parenting journey. So you would expect, having parents who had written this really famous parenting book, that she would be, she'd find parenting pretty easy, but she didn't. So I found that kind of cool. It was really humbling and honest as well, that actually she didn't find her own parenting journey that easy, even though, she had these parents who kind of knew what they were doing, I suppose, and had written a book about it. Because you might know that we tend to take on kind of influences from how we were parented in our own parenting style, kind of instinctively. So I found that really cool. So it explains how they came to write the book. It's actually 2 best friends that write the book. So that's kind of how it came to be, and I'm going to kind of talk about why I like the book and kind of what it's all about, really. So the best thing about the book is it's really funny. So I find myself, I do tend to read a lot at night time in bed. And I do find myself kind of laughing out loud while my husband is sleeping next to me. So like shoulders kind of going, and when you're trying to keep quiet, but you've got this girly, like school girl giggle coming out that you can't control. So yeah, there's some really funny extracts in here, really funny examples. And as a parent, they're really relatable. So there's lots of stories, lots of extracts which really kind of resonate with me, and there are things that I've been through myself, with my own daughter. So I always find that really hilarious when other parents have their own little take on it. So yeah, I'm sitting in bed and I'm kind of like laughing, giggling, and my husband's trying to sleep, and he knows that I'm reading this book because it's really funny. So the stories, the extracts, the examples are really relatable, as I said. And what I love about that as a parent or as a mother, is that it's kind of nice to know that your situation isn't completely unique, that other people have been through it, it's totally normal. And there are certain things that children do which are much the same when they get to a certain level developmentally. So that's really cool. I really like a relatable book. I don't like a book where I read it and I think, that doesn't make any sense, or, that is totally not something I would be able to bring into my everyday. Something really far-fetched and just kind of beyond everyday motherhood. So this is totally not like that, and that is one of the reasons that I love it. So, I mean, it's split into each section, and what I love is each section is based on something particular that you might be struggling with. So for example, you've got things like handling emotions, resolving conflicts, praise and appreciation. If you've got like sibling rivalry, when you go shopping with children, which can be really hard work, food fights, you've got things like shy children, cleaning up, hitting, punching, you know, all those really difficult stages that we go through as parents, and how to kind of deal with those in a really realistic, really helpful, actionable way. So at the end of each chapter, they clarify the chapter with a like picture format, so something really easy to remember and really easy to follow and implement. So that's one of the best things really about reading parenting books or any self-help book, is that you want something that is easily actionable, something you can carry over into your life really, really simply, and something really straightforward. You don't want to read it, get to the end and think, I have no idea how to implement that in my life, because it's really not going to help. So when you go to a self-help book, a parenting book, you're looking for help, you're looking for advice, you're looking for guidance. So what I love about it, it really fits in with my values and my kind of emphasis on trying to be a gentle, respectful parent. And there's lots of information in there about understanding your children and building on that connection with your children, because we know that conflict, shouting, being angry, those types of things can break down that bond and that connection that you have with your child. So that's always really important to me, because I always want to build on that as she's getting older. The guidance it offers is all about being calm and controlled and understanding and loving and overcoming really difficult situations, which is what I went to it for. You know, I felt that the tools I had, the things that I was doing, just weren't working. They were making me frustrated, they were making her frustrated, and we just weren't getting where we wanted to be, either of us. So yeah, that was the reason that I went to the book, and it's helped me with everything that everything that I needed, in every way that I hoped. Also, what's really important to me is my child feels valued, that she feels like she can have a say, and that she is enabled to kind of solve her own problems, really. You know, that I'm not there telling her what to do, trying to rule her life, that she has a say, and that if there's an issue, we can work on it together, we can find a solution together. You know, problem solving skills are so important as we get older, and as our lives get more complex and we take on more responsibility. So that's really important, I think, to help our children with at a young age. And I'm also really big on emotions, expressing our emotions, being able to talk openly about how we feel. You know, in today's world where there's so many mental health problems, I think starting from a young age, helping your child understand that they feel a certain way and that they can talk about that, you know, openly, that they can feel safe and secure, and that everything they say matters. It helps them to express themselves and not hold things in, because it's so important to talk, it's so important to understand yourself. So I love that about the book. It really helps that kind of side of children's emotional intelligence. So yeah, if you are experiencing some challenges with your children, if they've come to an age where you're thinking, oh man, this is getting tough, I don't really know what to do with this, I need a bit of help, and this book's really cool. And it's a reference book as well. It's one that you can keep going back to. You can go to particular chapters depending on what you're experiencing. So if you're having a problem with siblings, for example, then you can open it up at that section and kind of remind yourself on how to deal with that. So yeah, if you've got problems and you want a bit of help, this book's really, really helpful. So yeah, it's my favourite parenting book at the moment, and I wanted to share that with you. The link is below, so do check that out if you are interested in purchasing the book. The video isn't sponsored at all by the book or the authors or anything. It's just something that I really love that I wanted to share. So do enjoy. Thank you once again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to my channel, and like if you like, and I'll see you in the next video.